and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and I'll take you through the top 50 stories of the day. Let's begin. The governor of Russia's Belgorod region has issued a statement. He said that Ukrainian forces have shelled the border town of Shebekino using Soviet-era Grad rocket systems. One residential building has been set on fire. The governor said 8 people have been injured and local residents are being evacuated. The head of Russia's Wagner mercenary group says he will pull all his soldiers out of the city of Bakhmut by the 5th of June. Wagner troops will leave Bakhmut after handing the city to the Russian army. The city of Bakhmut in Ukraine has witnessed a long and bloody battle. Wagner's head added that his troops want to rest for about a month. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is on a visit to the neighboring country of Moldova. While there, he reiterated that Ukraine is ready to be part of NATO. He said that Kyiv has been waiting for the bloc to be ready to admit his country. The European Union's 27 member states and other European countries are meeting for a summit in Moldova. Parts of a Russian missile fell next to a car on a busy road in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. The missile was launched as a part of Russia's 16th attack on Kyiv in May. A dashcam recorded the entire incident. Russia has increased the frequency of air attacks on Ukraine. This comes at a time when Ukraine is preparing to launch a counter-offensive. US President Joe Biden has approved a new military aid package for Ukraine. It's worth $300 million. This includes additional drones and other weapons. The Biden administration also said it has given a warning to Ukraine. It says that US-made weapons should not be used to carry out attacks inside Russian territory.
In response, the United States is going to continue to support Ukraine.
South Korea has urged North Korea to halt its plans for a second satellite launch attempt. This comes after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yoo-jong, promised another satellite launch. On Tuesday, Pyongyang launched an alleged spy satellite, but the mission failed. The United States and other countries have criticized the move. Iran's estimated stockpile of enriched uranium has increased to 23 times the set limit. This is according to the UN nuclear watchdog. The International Atomic Energy Agency has filed a report. The report is confidential, but it was accessed by media outlets. It reportedly mentions that Iran's total enriched uranium stockpile is estimated to be over 4,000 kilograms as of May 13th. The limit set in 2015 was about 200 kgs. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has defended the country's anti-LGBTQ+ law. He said that the law was needed to prevent LGBTQ+ community members from quote-unquote recruiting others. The draconian anti-LGBT law includes severe punishments like the death penalty. A number of countries, including the US, have criticized the law. The Biden administration has threatened to impose sanctions. Some concerning news is coming from Sudan's capital, Khartoum. At least 60 infants, toddlers, and older children have died over the past 6 weeks in an orphanage. At least 26 children died over the weekend. Most of the children died due to a lack of food and from fever. A volunteer at the orphanage has called the situation catastrophic. This comes as fighting between warring factions has led to a complete upheaval in Sudan. Meanwhile, the Sudanese armed forces have suspended ceasefire talks with the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group. This comes despite the two sides earlier agreeing to extend the truce deal for 5 days. Clashes between the two sides continue in the Khartoum, North Kordofan and Darfur regions. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is set to pay an official visit to South Africa and Namibia. Jaishankar will head to South Africa today to participate in the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting in Cape Town. He will also hold a bilateral meeting with his South African counterpart, Naledi Pandor. After that, Jaishankar will head to Namibia. There, he will co-chair the inaugural session of a joint commission meeting. India and China held in-person talks on border issues in New Delhi on Wednesday. The two sides discussed proposals for disengagement in the remaining friction points in a quote-unquote frank and open manner. India's Ministry of External Affairs has said that the restoration of peace and tranquility will create conditions for the normalizing of bilateral ties. Another round of talks have been scheduled for later. Nepal's Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal or Prachanda held talks with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. The two leaders focused on resolving border issues. The bilateral talks also focused on energy, connectivity and trade. Prachanda also extended an invitation to the Indian Prime Minister to visit Nepal. Prachanda is in India for a 4-day official trip. Authorities in the Canadian province of Nova Scotia are appealing for additional help to contain wildfires. They're asking Canada's central government for additional firefighters. Meanwhile, 14 fires continue to burn through Nova Scotia. At least 16,000 people have been forced to leave their homes. Residents in the US state of Massachusetts saw the effects of Canada's Nova Scotia fires. Smoke from the wildfires created an uneasy haze for the Americans. The Nova Scotia fires are expected to cause poor air quality across hundreds of kilometers of America's east coast. Typhoon Mawar is moving towards Taiwan and Japan. Earlier in May, the storm had wrecked the US territory of Guam in the Pacific Ocean. Despite losing some ferocity, it lashed Taiwan's eastern coast with gushing winds and rough seas. The typhoon is now slowly moving towards southern Japan. It's expected to make landfall by Friday. A coalition of NGOs demanded French oil giant Total Energies suspend their hydrocarbon projects worldwide. The demands come after a French court ordered the company to comply with the standards outlined in the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. Activists protested outside the city halls in Paris and New York against the practices of the oil company. Climate activists stepped up protests against US Democratic Party lawmakers Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin. They've been instrumental in the setting up of the Mountain Valley Pipeline. The project will spread across the states of Virginia and West Virginia in the US. Demonstrators alleged that the politicians had taken donations from oil companies to back the project. The pipeline project is worth over $6 billion. It passes across 1,000 lakes and wetlands. Emissions related to the project will be equal to at least 26 coal plants. Chile's state-owned Codelco Copper Company has been forced to shut down its smelter in the Venantas region after 6 decades of operation. This comes after hundreds of people residing near the smelter suffered sulfur dioxide poisoning. Smelting operations have had a grim impact on the region's environment. It has been dubbed Chile's Chernobyl. The Codelco Copper Company is the world's top producer of the metal. Beekeepers in the UAE have genetically modified queen bees. The genetic manipulation allows the queen bees to survive severe heat in the countries amid rising temperatures. The beekeepers will also place bee colonies under large canopies to protect them from the heat. Climate change and high temperatures have caused a dramatic fall in bee numbers around the world. Credit ratings agency Moody's has said that the UK may go through a mild recession this year. The agency expects the economy to shrink by 0.1% in 2023. However, an earlier projection by the Bank of England said that the UK will likely dodge a recession. Last month, the IMF also erased its forecast of a recession in Britain. Food and beverage giant Nestlé has appointed Anna Mans as its new Chief Financial Officer. She will replace Francois-Xavier Roger. Mans will also join Nestlé's board as an executive vice president. She currently serves as the finance chief of the London Stock Exchange Group. American job posting site ZipRecruiter is eliminating about 20% of its workforce. The job cuts will impact about 270 employees. Most of these cuts will be through its sales and customer support divisions. The company's chief executive officer, Ian Siegel, will also take a 30% cut on his base pay. Healthcare company Abbott Laboratories has sued one of its former scientists. The firm has sued Roger Tyre for stealing sensitive documents. These contained confidential drug formulations. Abbott argues that if the documents are leaked, it could hurt the company's competitive advantage in the nutrition market. Elon Musk has become the world's richest person yet again. The Tesla CEO surpassed luxury tycoon Bernard Arnault to reclaim the position. Arnault is the chief executive officer of the French fashion house Louis Vuitton. This week, Arnault's wealth reportedly slid after a drop in Louis Vuitton's stock price. Reports say that Musk and Arnault have been neck to neck for the top spot this year. According to reports, 150 to 200 Credit Suisse employees are resigning daily. The bankers are worried about their future and are seeking safer employment at competitors. This is after UBS took over Credit Suisse earlier this year in a merger arranged by the Swiss government. Some Amazon employees in the American city of Seattle have staged a walkout protest. More than 100 people gathered around Amazon's Seattle headquarters. They were protesting against the company's layoffs and return to office policies. In recent months, Amazon has announced some 27,000 job cuts. Amazon's Ring unit has agreed to pay nearly $6 million to settle spying charges. Amazon's Ring unit makes house accessories such as alarm security systems, indoor and outdoor cameras, and video doorbells. The US antitrust regulator accused Amazon's Ring doorbell camera of illegally spying on users. A former employee of the unit also allegedly spied on female customers for months through bedroom and bathroom cameras. Meta says it'll remove news content from its platforms in the US state of California. This comes up over a legislation passed by the state government. The proposed act would require online platforms to pay a journalism usage fee. This means that companies have to pay news providers whose work appears on their platforms. A UK-based firm has developed a humanoid robot called Amica. Amica can have conversations almost as natural as human beings and can make facial expressions. Scientists have said they're aiming to make a full walking version of the robot. Moving to sports now, in cricket, Sri Lanka will host Afghanistan for a one-day international match on Friday. This will be the first game in a three-match series. Both teams have announced 16-member squads. The series will prepare both teams for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers, which begin on the 19th of June. In football, Sevilla beat AS Roma 4-1 on penalties to clinch their 7th Europa League title. The match was a heated affair and the referee had to dish out 14 yellow cards. The game went to penalties after a 1-1 draw. Sevilla punished Roma in the penalty shootout, with Gonzalo Montiel firing home the winning spot kick. Sevilla keeper Yassine Bounou was the hero of the match. He made 2 spectacular saves in the shootout. This was the first time that Roma manager Jose Mourinho suffered a loss at a European Cup final. Meanwhile, Sevilla and Roma fans also battled it out in the stadium premises. At least 9 football fans were arrested by the Hungarian police after fighting broke out. Roma supporters flung chairs, bottles and flares at Sevilla fans. Several people were injured in the clashes. The Hungarian police have opened a criminal investigation into the assault. Chelsea midfielder Mason Mount has agreed to personal terms with Manchester United. The Red Devils will now table their official bid. Mount looks to leave Chelsea after they finished 12th in the Premier League this season. This was their lowest ranking since 1994. Cristiano Ronaldo ended his first season at the Saudi Pro League with an injury. The star forward was absent from Al Nassr's final match. In Ronaldo's absence, his team beat Al Fateh 3-0, ending the season on a high note. Meanwhile, Ronaldo failed to win any titles this season. His team finished second in the Saudi League, 5 points behind winners Al Ittihad. In tennis, Novak Djokovic reached the third round at the French Open. Djokovic beat his Hungarian opponent 7-6, 6-0, 6-3. He struggled to get his footing in the first round, but once he found his rhythm, Djokovic completely dominated the clay court. Top-seeded Carlos Alcaraz cruised into the third round at the French Open as well. The Spaniard beat Japan's Taro Daniel comfortably with a 6-1, 6-1, 6-2 win. Alcaraz looks determined to defend his Roland Garros title. The Indian duo of Yuki Bhambre and Saket Mainekmi roared into the second round at Roland Garros. They dominated their French opponents 6-3, 6-2, winning the match in just 64 minutes. They'll now play the third round in the men's doubles on Friday. In badminton, India's Kiran George is on a roll at the Thailand Open. He defeated another high-ranked player to advance to the quarterfinals. 59th ranked George beat world number 26 Yang Weng 21-11, 21-19 in straight sets. On Wednesday, he had defeated world number 9 Shi Yuki in straight sets as well. A Cuban team of all-female umpires will call the shots at the country's national baseball championships. The women umpires are breaking all barriers in a sport which has been dominated by men. This comes after Cuba allowed women to participate as umpires across all sports. The barrier was first broken in December 2022 when women referees judged Cuba's national boxing games. In the world of entertainment, Israeli actor and model Gal Gadot has said that she suffers from imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a condition which leaves people doubting their own capabilities. The 38-year-old Israeli actor has been part of some hit movies including Fast and Furious and Wonder Woman. Canadian actor Kim Cattrall's famous Sex and the City character Samantha is set to make a comeback. Reports say that the actor will make a brief cameo in Sex and the City spin-off called And Just Like That. Cattrall had previously refused to join the rest of the cast that includes Sarah Jessica Parker, Kristen Davis, and Cynthia Nixon. Reports also say that Cattrall's appearance will be limited to a phone call between the characters Carrie Bradshaw and Samantha. Actor Benedict Cumberbatch's former chef, who broke into his house in North London, has been arrested. The chef, Jack Bissell, allegedly broke into the house through the front gate while shouting, "I know you've moved here, I hope it burns down." Cumberbatch's wife, Sophie Hunter, and their 3 children were reportedly at home at the time of the incident. Rap icon Tupac Shakur will be honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The late rapper's sister will accept the honor on his behalf on June 7th. Hollywood Walk of Fame producers praised Tupac Shakur, calling him a poet and a revolutionary. The rapper was shot dead in 1996 in Las Vegas while he was just 25 years old. American actor Amber Heard has responded to rumors about her exit from Hollywood. Heard said that she has no plans to quit acting. She cleared the air while she was stopped by paparazzi in Spain's capital, Madrid. Amber Heard has famously starred in Aquaman. Another part of the franchise, called Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, is set for a 2023 release. American rapper Megan Thee Stallion is taking a break from music to focus on her mental health. She said in an interview, and I quote, "The music and entertainment industry can be a grind. It's important to take time off and avoid burning out." She added that life is all about balance. The rapper is taking a break less than 1 year after her album Traumazine released. The Writers Guild of America, or WGA, and other Hollywood unions have called on studios to reach a fair contract with the Directors Guild of America. According to the unions, such a contract would benefit every worker in the industry. The WGA has been on strike for 30 days. A live-action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon is set for a theatrical release in 2025. Filming is set to begin in Los Angeles this year. The cast includes 15-year-old Mason Thames and 18-year-old Nico Parker. Thames is known for his role in the 2022 horror film The Black Phone. Parker has previously starred in the 2019 film Dumbo. American authorities have decided not to go forward with charges against actor Armie Hammer due to a lack of evidence. Hammer was accused of sexual assault and emotional abuse by his former girlfriend in 2021. In January 2021, several women accused Hammer of misconduct. Hammer is famous for playing the character Oliver in hit drama movie Call Me By Your Name. Mexican actor Sergio Calderon has died at the age of 77. He was best known for his roles in films The In-Laws, Men in Black, and Pirates of the Caribbean 3 at World's End. Calderon's family said that the actor died in a Los Angeles hospital due to natural causes. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.